I think our relationship with Europe, much larger than our relationship with the EU as an institution, has been an immensely important influence upon the built environment in Great Britain. After all, since Vitruvius, we've been importing ideas from Europe. So there's a great interchange of cultural ideas over many centuries, which we rely upon as architects. I worry too about this present government's enthusiasm for tearing up standards. The European Union is now well ahead of Great Britain, unfortunately, in the application of sustainable building standards, and in particular in the world of housing.
We've talked a lot about immigration coming to this country, but the building industry needs it. It wouldn't function without it, and it's the same in architecture. We have quite a few architects from Spain, a couple from Italy and so on, and it would be much more difficult if immigration controls were introduced just as a kind of knee-jerk reaction to what's going on in the short term. But there are other things too. I mean, I think it would just take forever to renegotiate the things that we take for granted at the moment. It's patchy, but we have unified standards on things like environmental legislation, which I think Britain would duck out of if it had half a chance. And we have unified standards for health and safety, which again has been raised as something they would duck out of if they had half a chance. And that would be hugely backward looking. It would put us back into where we were years ago. Not a great idea. Looking at the bigger picture, it's a more emotional question. I think in the end, England on its own, and I do mean England, will be a far lesser place without being part of a big grouping like Europe. So there'll be a tremendous cultural impact. I mean, we are much more aligned to Europe, I think, than people realise.
Membership of the EU has only brought opportunity. It's brought a steady stream of capital, of investors, of buyers. It's brought a huge number of professional migrants who've come with their architecture and their construction expertise, and that has driven a change and a massive improvement in the type of commercial building that's being delivered in London. If we go back 20 years, Britain was known as a country that didn't particularly prioritise environmental issues. And through strict EU policy on sustainable development and environmental issues, it has forced British developers to build to higher standards. I think it is absolutely in Britain's best interest to stay, if only to stay in its role of agent provocateur, to be the questioner and the voice of reason within the European Union, and to lead from the front.